As we all know, the class is not the primary learning event, and it is life itself that is the main learning event nowadays. And schools, classrooms, and training sessions still have a role to play in this vision, but they have to be in the service of the learning that happens in the world. With this, I just want to highlight that understanding of social and reality-based learning matters. For me, it's how do we change the relationships and practices in the field to support better learning. And from this, I really ask you to take a piece of paper and pen and answer the questions with what is now there in your screen, so I can read it if someone is only listening, so you can think about those. You don't have to stop driving a car and write those anywhere, but I really want you to think about these questions. So I ask you to list the names of the names on each question, and it can be a maximum 4 names in the question. So list people with who you usually discuss on matters that are important for you. And the next question is with who you communicate about your work. Third question is that kind of if you have a new project, who should approve and decide about resources and support? Fourth question is who would you contact to solve a difficult problem? Fifth is whose advice you ask concerning your career. When you think about, for example, changing a job or something, who's that person who you ask for help or opinion? And the final question I want you to think about is who gives you the latest knowledge about your job or stretch your thinking. And now I would like you to have a 1 minute thinking on those questions. Write down the names on the paper, or if you don't have an opportunity to do that, just think about those questions, because the next thing we're gonna do is analyze your questions a little bit. So now I might just give you a 1 minute to think about those, and then we go further. Okay, one minute is not probably enough time for doing this, but it's amazing long time for me to be here without saying anything. So I hope you have right now at least some of the names on some of the questions, and from there I would like you to analyze your questions a little bit. Analyze the variability of your network. So how many of those people are at the same age as you are? Are they older, younger? Think about the gender. Are they same or different? How about the expertise? Is it the same than you have or different? And that way, I would like you to go through all those boxes and analyze your network a little bit. So it can be geographically, organization-wise, or actually the hierarchy, what you like think about. So if I just talk something about myself, when I did this kind of like a task first time, I had in my network there was only football people, almost the same age as me, same gender, all were men's. Actually, there weren't too many very experienced coaches. And that point I noticed that I probably have to do something with my network and change my thinking a little bit. And later on, you can actually think about a little bit, plan how to do it in the future. But the point in this slide is just to open a little bit the variability of your network. It's not a good thing that there is only same age, same gender, and same expertise people. Or I mean that's very important to have a different people from different positions to open your mind and stretch your thinking. At this point, I would like to share probably one of my top learning experiences networks here in Finland. In Finland, we have a network for CDs, so coach developers, and it consists of people which works for the sport federations, sport institutes, and some obviously for the universities. And at the very first days, it was just connecting with others around topics which were probably interested and all we care about. But shared experiences and thoughts and discovered something new together. And I would say that the good start for this cooperation was actually built by meaningful, immediate help, what we get, and the values what we got as a specialists. And obviously, I have to mention that we had a very good help and support from a very skillful leader. Actually, the recent presenter, Dr. Kirsi Hämäläinen, which actually I think she built the whole network with the things she gave us and how she led the whole start. And now after the 10 years networking, I really think that we have started to call us actually more like communities of practice, and some kind of community where actually very skilled and committed participants have stepped up and start to help each other, even organize and facilitate the learning nowadays. So it's not anymore about the leader, so it's more about us. So we take care of each other, and I think that the change of mindset is a big from there to taking to actually giving information. And in the next two slides, I just want to quickly introduce the concept of communities of practice, because that's probably something we all are not familiar with. So very quickly goes through those. And the theory, I think the theory is very useful, and I've got a lot of tools to support social learning by those ideas. So let me check that. So the communities of practice is a group of people who share a common concern, a set of problems or an interested in a topic, and people who came together to fulfill both individual and group goals. In a way, caring to make a difference is a fundamental dimension for the concept. And Bev and Etienne Wenger trainer actually introduced this theory for me, and they are very strong leaders at the field at the moment, and they have done a lot of research in different environments under the subject. They have published articles, books. They have a website. They have actually organized workshops all over the world for the very big companies and communities. So they have a lot of experiences on this. And I won't put myself in a role that I'm a big like a specialist in communities of practice, but I would very strongly recommend you to have a look on this Wenger trainer things, because from there I think there is a lot of good things to think about and strengthen your networks as well in these theories. At this point, I would like to listen a bit about your thoughts And now I try something which I don't know how does it gonna work. But I have a question for you, and I hope that at least someone from you can go to the menti.com and use the code and answer the question. So the question is, what binds you to your networks? I would like to, actually the code is 32821536. So open the web browser, open your phone, go to menti.com and write down your thoughts on this. What binds you to your networks? What engages you those, and what kind of things matters for you? And I would be very happy if I could at least get some answers. And at the same time you answer, I will try to change my share screening to actually the place where the answers come. So let's see what happens. All right. I don't know. Hope you can see this. There is a couple of answers at least already. So for you, or at least someone for you, the things are like open-minded conversations, collaboration or cooperation, friendship, meaningful topics, development work, mutual development. So very good things, and the same kind of what actually binds me to do things as well. Good. At least we get some interaction. That was a little risky to doing this, but I'm happy that it happened to. Or probably it was Derek and Rick answering all the questions, but at least there is someone. I don't even know how many are listening, but good to have some answers. Thank you for those. Yeah, good. Let's wait one minute, so if we can get some more questions. So much bigger than the text is, the more answers is came in the same word. So yeah, I think it's a very good list. Someone of you should actually write a blog or some kind of report on that and put it in a Derek and Rick's website. Good. Thank you for this. Now I change back for the presentation. Sorry. All right. I think we're back in the right one. And I wasn't brave enough just to leave it in there. So I make a plan that if no one's going to answer, I have at least some list, which is actually my own list about the things I feel in my experience are really, really important when building a strong networks, what matters for me. And this is my like a personal opinions. And it's obviously no research background on this, but this came from my experience as a coach and a coach developer, and my experiences here in Finland. So the first one for me is find the right people. Concentrate on those people who will be able to stretch and support your thinking. My advice is think about the variability, the possibilities you have. You did a little task in the beginning of this 20-minute session, and my question for you is, whose thinking do you have an access? Be open-minded, because I think at least Rick's and Derek's podcast has shown me something real spectacular. They're very brave to contact anyone in the world. They have got a great speakers in their podcasts, And I really hope that they can build some kind of community or around that with the students studying sport coaching all over the world. So I really hope that's going to happen. But to find the right people, it's obvious that's the first thing for me, the game changers. And in my opinion, it's actually giving value before you receive it. In networking situations, people expect you to ask them for help. But if you turn the mindset around and just build and offer immediate value and some support for them at the start, I think they will be grateful and want to return to the favor. So show and make the difference for them first and help them first. And I think it's a great way to make a lasting connection and being helpful. And that way, I'm sure you're going to receive a lot of help in the future as well. So the third one I listed, let's see, it's come. My advice for you is to become a connector. So you don't always have to gain something in networking relationships. If you can introduce people to those who can benefit from one another, it's just as effective, and I think that makes a difference. We had a famous company. I've used this joke before, but we have a famous company, Nokia, before, and they already said it, that Nokia connecting people. So act like that. That's my thought. And the fourth one, be active and reconnect yourself. I think after you choose the right people on your network, you have to stay in contact with them. In my opinion, in these days, people are just too busy to connect or call you. But at least in my case, quite often when I call them, they answer. So unless those who answer for you, those are the word of keeping in your networks. So, but the point is to be active yourself. It's not about waiting anyone or someone to call you first. And the final one for me is something what I always said: be positive. I think positive energy is dramatically underutilized resource. And as we know, we know bad and unexpected things happen. Try to play and act as positive you can in your networks. I think that's gonna make a change in thinking and give a lot of energy for the people who are in part of your networks. And now if you have 2 or 3 minutes time, I hope you do some kind of action plan for yourself to strengthen your networks. And you don't have to do it now, but I want you to take a photo of the slide for yourself, and probably after the night or the webinar, you can think about these things yourself, because the action planning and trying to change the things and thinking, it's the most important thing. So I want you to list 2 or 3 things that you do or change to strengthen your networks in the future. And think about the things you do next. What are the very first steps, and who you need to contact to get it like a stronger your network. So if I could ask, please do this later on. You don't have to do it now. Take a photo and think about this because the networks matters, and I think they change the world. This is a nice photo of my friends all over the world. I had a great opportunity, and I want to put it in the last slide because I have a great opportunity to take part in the fully international World Global Coach Developer Program, which gave me amazing amount of great people all over the world, which are always available and which are always willing to help me. And without this kind of network, I wouldn't be as good, as positive, as energy for the development of sport in the future. So in these words, I would like you to change the world as well, build your strong networks. Don't hesitate to get me in your contacts as well. I have a LinkedIn profile, and I'm lucky enough. I've done my job if at least one of you guys asked me as your friend for after this session. So Rick and Derek, I hope I didn't take too much time over. Should be 20 minutes now, so I'll give a stage for you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, thanks, Pekka. Yeah, I mean, great presentation, and I really like the interaction piece there with the Mentimeter and everything. So thanks for involving the audience a little bit. And it was not just Rick and I answering all of the questions. So you did get some interaction from the audience. Again, big thanks. And we are going to take just another short break, everybody. So we will see everybody when we start back up in 5 minutes. All right. Thanks, Pekka.
Thanks.